Hi, I'm Nancy Smith. I'm the divorce lawyer that wants you to emerge from your divorce process healthy and strong, not bitter and resentful. Today we're going to talk about alimony. There is a lot of controversy about alimony. It has three names: alimony, spousal support, or spousal maintenance, depending on whether you're looking at the IRS tax code or your individual state statute. First, let's talk about the purpose of spousal support. There are two reasons the court would award spousal support: compensatory and rehabilitative. Compensatory spousal support is used to compensate a spouse for non-monetary contributions to the marriage. For example, if one of you stayed home full-time to raise the kids while the other went to school or worked. Rehabilitative spousal support is to provide income while a spouse receives training or further education so that they can find a fulfilling job or career to contribute to their own long-term support. The ultimate goal of the law is to bridge the disparity in incomes that resulted from being out of the workforce during the marriage or for some other economic impact attributable to the marriage. So, when is someone entitled to alimony? A person can make a claim for alimony or spousal support if they lack sufficient income, property, or both to support themselves without support from the other person, and the other person can afford to pay it. Spousal support is money payable to a former spouse who historically stayed home to raise the kids or who maintained the home so that the higher wage earning spouse could work full-time. The court's view is that a marriage is like a business partnership. By the time it comes to a divorce, the judge will consider the following criteria when determining whether to award spousal support: each party's income, education, and employment skills, the length of the marriage, the age of the spouses, their health, whether there are any minors still living at home, the cost for training or additional education to become more self-sufficient, and non-monetary contributions and the disparity in incomes between the spouses. Spousal support is controversial because the higher wage earner never wants to pay their former spouse extra money, and the recipient spouse doesn't actually feel great about not being able to support themselves without help from their former spouse. Most recipient spouses don't actually want to feel beholden to their former spouse for support. A massive lobbying effort across the country in the last 10 years has been remarkably effective at reducing the payor's exposure to paying alimony, and many states have also modified their alimony statutes, making it harder to obtain alimony and shortening the duration for which a recipient may receive support. You should consult with a collaborative divorce lawyer in your area about either your exposure or your entitlement to spousal support and how that may impact your property settlement. Sometimes people with sufficient assets will settle a case by giving more property in lieu of spousal support so that they don't have to make an ongoing monthly payment. Property settlements are final and not modifiable. So that means when your assets have been divided, neither of you can ask the court to change that later on. However, spousal support may be modifiable in some circumstances, such as a substantial and unanticipated change in circumstance. This could include sickness or a layoff, an inability to return to work at the same level, but it does not include voluntarily quitting a job or taking off to Aruba. Sometimes a subsequent remarriage will automatically impact spousal support, and sometimes it's just a factor that the court will consider if the payor asks to modify the support because the recipient has remarried. As you probably have heard by now, the alimony tax law was changed in 2019. Alimony lost its tax deduction status, and it's no longer considered taxable income to the recipient spouse, and it's no longer deductible by the payor spouse. Ask yourself, how do we create financial independence, stability, and prosperity for our family in both households? I'm Nancy Smith, wishing you a calm heart, clear mind, and a healthy divorce.